Hi, I'm Chris Helm. Welcome to Working with Hair, Tips and Techniques for Dry Flies. My friend Glenn Weisner and I are going to tie 3 different patterns each on dry flies with various types of hair. And we're going to incorporate a bunch of different techniques and tips for you to make all of your dry flies more effective and beautiful. The first pattern I'm going to do is a Royal Wulff. This is one of my favorite patterns, and there's a couple of little things in here that I'm going to describe or indicate to you that may be a little different than what you've seen in the past. And these are really tips and techniques that if you're going to tie a show fly, for instance, you definitely want to use. Whether you want to use it for your trout flies is another story, but I think once you learn to do this, you'll probably do it on a regular basis on this particular pattern. I'm tying on a size 10 hook, an 1190 Daiichi. I'm going to start with gel spun thread. This is Benecke 55 denier, gel spun thread. And we're going to do a reverse jam knot to start out. Typically, thread is placed at the beginning of the hook, right behind the hook eye, and wrapped to the back and then back to the front to put on the wing. Well, we're going to do this a little bit differently. Put a little bit of this fishing glue on the hook shank, and gel spun thread is rather slippery, and that helps negate that slipperiness. We're going to do the reverse jam knot by holding the thread on the tyer side of the hook with the tag end, make a loop around the hook, bring it right to the back, and start wrapping forward. Now, as that gel spun thread collapses around the hook shank and into the glue, it just bonds it to the hook. I'm going to stop the thread just shy of the eye and bring it back to the 1/3 mark. And I don't even need to use take that tag and wrap it in. I'll just do it that way, and it's on the hook. Spin the thread to get it flat. Check your spacing. Check the spacing on this to make sure it's at the 1/3 mark, and it looks pretty good. This is calf body hair. I'm going to comb that out. You could use calf body hair or you could use calf tail. On the original Wulff pattern that Lee Wulff tied, he used bucktail. But bucktail is really not a very good choice. I'm not sure that when he did that, that calf tail and calf body hair was available in any great quantity. So he used bucktail. But bucktail is so thin and tapered, it really does not work very well for doing this type of a pattern. Comb it out, stack it. Now this is a somewhat stiff hair. And the reason I use the gel spun thread, it allows greater pressure on the hair than you can do with a nylon or a polyester thread of a comparable size, or maybe even a bigger size, like a 70 denier.
So are you using a thread for strength or for size?
Strength and size.
Both.
And that really, I really like the strength issue more than anything. Now we're going to head cement. Always put a little drop of cement on calf tail or calf body or squirrel hair, bucktail, etc. Measure the wing to equal the shank. Slide your fingers forward. And I'm putting a tremendous amount of pressure on that hair that I could never do with a 70 denier thread. I might explain denier. Denier is the correct method for measuring thread. It's the denier system actually goes back to the Middle Ages, back to the 1500s, and actually goes back to Roman times. Denier is a French term that was originated, according to my research, 1535.